to my channel. This is my first official like YouTube video. I have a bunch of shorts, but that's just like repurposed TikTok. Whatever, I'm ranting. We're gonna discuss the fundamentals of makeup. So I've only been doing makeup for about 2 years now. I started during quarantine, and it was just something to do to pass the time. I eventually fell in love with it. I did get certified, so I am certified now. But when I first started, I really just watched different tutorials on YouTube. And I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money on products that didn't work for me because I didn't know the basics, like the fundamentals. Like there are things you should know before you even pick up a makeup brush. And I didn't know those things. So I was buying all the wrong products. I just wasted a bunch of time and a bunch of money. So the point of this video is to save you from doing that. So if you're new to makeup and you really don't know where to start, this video is for you. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a makeup guru or anything. Like I know I've only been doing makeup a few years and I know I have a lot to learn. So I'm not sitting here, I'm no expert. I just want you to save money. I know that there was a bunch of things I should have known that I didn't know. And the point of this video is to help you save time and money and not make the same mistakes I did. And what makes it different for me is that I've just started to learn, so I can very easily remember where I went wrong and what mistakes I did to help you not make those mistakes. So there are a couple things that we're gonna go over in this video, and I'll put them on the screen, I guess here, like so. So the first thing is skin type. You need to know your skin type when you're learning when you're trying to start makeup. It is very important. And if you don't know your skin type, you can choose the wrong products. You can look patchy, you can look cracky. Like, you need to know your skin type. There are 4 different skin types. There's oily skin, there's combination skin, there's dry skin, and there's normal skin. So I think they're pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go into detail a little bit. So dry skin is, it's dry skin. Like you need to moisturize, your face is tight, it's kind of ashy. Oily skin, very self-explanatory. Like I have combination skin. So like my T-zone gets very oily, but then I'm dry over here. It varies, but oily skin is pretty much like you are oily, you're shiny all the time. I constantly, like before I started wearing makeup, I used to go like this with the back of my hand to wipe the oil off my face. And then there's normal skin, which is not dry, not oily, right in between, pretty much like where everyone wants to be. No, I'm not gonna say that, that's not true. I'm okay with having combination skin. So the reason it's important to know your skin type is because you want to pick a foundation that goes with, like the formula works with your skin type. So if you have dry skin, you probably won't want to use a lot of powder foundations because that's a dry formula, So that's why it's important to know your skin type so that you can pick the right foundation that works with your skin. So if you don't know your skin type, it's very easy to figure it out. You want to use a gentle cleanser, clean your face, and then wait an hour. After an hour, examine your face and see, what it looks like. Is it oily? Is it dry? Is it regular? Is it only oily in some spots? That's going to let you know what your skin type is. Once you know your skin type, you can then use a skincare routine based on your skin type. Now, I'm not really gonna go into skincare routines because like I said, I'm no professional, but you really wanna pick one that's suitable to your skin. So if you have combination skin, you wanna pick a skincare routine that works for combination skin. Dry skin, oily skin, vice versa. Once you get your skincare routine down pat, that's when you can move on to makeup. Because to be honest, the first step of a good makeup application is making sure that you have a good skincare routine. Another reason why it's a good idea to have a good skincare routine is that once you learn your skin, you can know which products works for you. So I have sensitive skin, which to be honest, I didn't even know until I started wearing makeup and had a skincare routine. So I have sensitive skin. But now that I have a skincare routine in place, I can tell when a new product that I'm using is causing like skin concerns. Because before that, like my skin was all over the place and I wouldn't be able to pinpoint exactly what caused the breakout. But now, because I have a skincare routine, I can really like say, oh, I can't use this product because it causes me to break out. And talking about products that cause you to break out, if you have sensitive skin like me, I stay away from things that are heavily fragranced. A lot of things that have fragrance in them, like when it comes to makeup, and nobody really talks about this. Everybody is like, oh, this setting spray is the best setting spray, or blah blah blah. And a lot of them I can't even use because they have fragrance in them. Now, I don't shy away from everything that has fragrance because it's just too many products, but I really like to keep it very minimal of the things that I use on a daily basis that have fragrance. To be honest, like I want to say like 80% of the things I use do not have fragrance for that reason. So the next thing is choosing the right foundation formula. So that's why it's important for you to know your skin type, because when you know your skin type, it's easier to pick which foundation formula works best for you and which is going to give you the most long-lasting wear. So there's powder foundation, there's liquid foundation, there's cream foundation, and there's stick foundation. So powder foundation works best for oily skin, combination skin, and you can use it for normal skin too. I have combination skin. I love powder foundation. You can use loose powder foundation or pressed powder foundation. It's really just your choice. So then there's liquid foundation. This is best for dry skin, combination skin, and normal skin. So there's cream foundation, and the consistency is a little thicker than liquid foundation, but it also works for normal skin and dry skin. And then there's stick foundation, which I think honestly works for all skin types. To be honest, at the end of the day, wear what you want to wear. As long as you prep your skin the way that it should be prepped to prepare it for the type of foundation you're going to use, you can pretty much get away with anything. I have oily skin, but I will still wear liquid foundation as long as I set it with a powder. So you really just need to figure out what works for you. To be honest, with makeup, it's really a trial and error kind of thing. It kind of just, you have to just keep trying new things to really figure out what works for you. And that's why I like makeup so much, because it's real individual. Like what works for one person is not going to work for the next. Like you have to really figure out what works for you. So there's a lot of trial and error, but I think that once you get your routine down packed, like that's the best. I don't know. I mean, I have my regular routine and I will still try different routines just to see which one is going to give me the best finish, but for the most part I stick to the same thing. So now that you figured out what formula you want for your foundation, you now have to figure out the finish that you want. So what I mean is there's a matte finish, there's natural finish, and there's radiant finish. So a matte finish is when you look like there's no shine, there's no glow, it's dry but not drying, like if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that, yeah. You know, personally, I don't really like matte. Even though matte works best for oily skin, I personally, like just my personal preference, I don't like matte. The next is radiant. So radiant is pretty much the exact opposite of matte. You look not shiny, but you look glowy. Some people refer to it as glass skin. So like you look shiny, but not overwhelmingly shiny, like, you know. And then there's natural, which is what I like to go for. Natural is my favorite. Not too dewy, not, you know, dry or matte, just like right in between. Like I feel like natural is the most like looking like you have on makeup but not looking like you have on makeup kind of look, which to be honest is a little difficult to get that finish when you have oily skin or when you have dry skin, because you have to like work with different products. If you find the right combination of mattifying products versus radiant products, you can get a natural finish if you have dry skin or oily skin. So now you know the formula that you want. Now you know the finish that you want. Next is picking the color. So there are different shade ranges. So the first step in picking the right color for your foundation is to know which shade range you fall into. So there's fair, light, medium, medium dark, dark. Some brands use different like names. Some brands just use fair. Some brands use, no, not just fair. Like they use fair, medium, dark. Some use light, medium, dark. Some you know, like, but for the most part, it's like light, very light, light, medium dark, right? So once you know what like little umbrella you fall under, then is the next step. The next step is an undertone. Undertone is the color that's just beneath the surface. Undertones do not change. Your shade can change based on, the weather, if you get a tan or whatever, but your undertone is going to stay the same. And you could be a mix of multiple undertones. So don't get overwhelmed. You can tell your undertone by looking at your veins, like on your arms.
Okay, so if the veins in your wrist are blue-green, that means you have a neutral undertone. If the veins in your wrist are slightly green or olive, that means you have a warm undertone. And if they are blue or purple, purplish blue, that means you have a cool undertone.
Now you know what formula you want. Now you know the finish that you want. Now you know what shade range you're in, and you know your undertone. Now you can pick your foundation. So if you have the option, which you should, because even if you go to the store, you should be able to try several different foundations through their samplers or something. So how you test your foundation is, now you know the shade range and you know the undertone. They're gonna pick like 2 or 3 in that shade range with that undertone. And you want to test your foundation from your jawline down to your neck, from your jaw to your neck, right? So I would typically pick 3 different foundations and do like that, and then like just tap them and see which one blends in the best, and that's gonna be your foundation that you pick. I go from my jaw to my neck because it's different colors, and you're gonna put makeup on your neck anyway, so you might as well want this to be cohesive. I also sometimes like to check right here, especially if I'm wearing like a spaghetti strap or something, because you put makeup on your neck. So some people have darker chest. So if you have a darker chest, you want a lighter chest. Make sure that like when it goes down, because you don't want to look like you're like it's just a line of like makeup, no makeup. So the next step is concealer and contour. For the most natural look, you want your concealer to be 1 to 2 shades lighter. I choose a concealer that's the same undertone as my foundation. You don't have to do this because some people like their under eyes to be like a different undertone. That's your personal preference. You just kind of like, you gotta play with it a little bit. Personally, I use one with the same undertone and I go 2 shades lighter. That's how I pick my concealer. So I will go to my foundation, find the same exact match in the concealer, like whatever the color is the same, and then go 2 shades lighter, and that is my concealer. So that's how I find out what shade of concealer I am. And that's the same for contour. Like if you're gonna use concealer to contour, there are contour palettes and stuff, and those you kind of, again, that's a trial and error kind of thing. But if you're gonna go with concealer, 2 shades darker, same undertone. To highlight and contour, you can do that based on your face shape or just based on your preference. But there is no universal like highlight and contour. It's different for every single person, different for every face shape. So do not follow these tutorials where everybody's doing their contour and highlight the same. You want to learn what works for you. You want to learn what works for your face type, and not just your face type. It's really what you want to emphasize. So personally, I see a lot of people like highlight their nose, but I don't highlight the tip of my nose because I think I have a big nose. So why would I want to emphasize my nose if I have a big nose? So it's really up to you. Like, do what you want to do. Again, that's why I like makeup. There are really no rules. There's rules, but there are no rules, right? You really just have to do what feels good to you. There are several different face shapes. I'm gonna go over like the very basic ones.
So first we have the oval face shape, where the length of your face is greater than the width of your cheekbone. Your forehead is greater than your jawline, and your jaw is rounded rather than pointed. Next is square, where the length of your forehead, cheekbones, and jawline are all similar in size, and the jaw is sharp rather than round. Next is round or circle, where the cheekbones and the length of your face are similar in size, and the jaw is not very defined. Next up, we have the diamond face shape, where your cheekbones are very prominent and your forehead and chin are narrow. This is the heart face shape, which usually has a pointed chin, and your forehead measures greater than the cheekbone and the jawline. Next, we have the triangle, where the jawline is the most prominent and the forehead is the skinniest. And last but not least, there's the inverted triangle, where your forehead is the widest and your chin is typically very pointed.
You can determine your face shape by simply measuring it. So take a tape measure, measure from temple to temple, from cheekbone to cheekbone, and then from temple to jawline. If you don't have a tape measure and you just want to, figure it out really quick, you can take a picture, like a portrait picture of your face, and then draw around your face, and whatever shape you draw is your face shape, right? So if you draw a diamond, right, or a circle or oval, that is a very easy way to determine your face shape. And don't be too stuck on this, because you could be a mix of multiple face shapes. It's really okay. So I want to talk a little bit about color correcting. To be honest, this is something that's still a little tricky to me, but I know the basics and I want to go over that. So color correcting is the process of using colors to neutralize or cancel unwanted pigmentation. So redness, dark marks, bruises, and color correcting is a way to do it without putting a lot of product on. So if you don't want to like pile on the layers of foundation, but you have some red spots or some dark marks, you can use color correcting before you do your foundation, and it will minimize the amount of product you have to put on. So when it comes to color correcting, you want to use green to cancel out any redness, peach to cover up dark circles or dark marks, orange covers dark circles, bruised skin, and pigmentation, preferably for like darker complexions, and purple cancels yellow. You really just want to figure out what's your issues and which color you can use to cancel that out, so that you can have a clean base to apply your foundation on top of it. Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to picking your foundation is you want to match it with your primer. So what I mean when I say you want to match it with your primer is you want to match the ingredients. So in order to get the most long-lasting wear out of your makeup application, for it to last all day, you want to match the ingredients. So what I mean is, if you have a water-based primer, you want to use a water-based foundation. If you have a silicone-based primer, you want to use a silicone-based foundation. There are a lot of ways to tell, like you really just have to look at the ingredients. If usually a water-based foundation has water, like it's going to be one of the first ingredients. It could be tricky because silicone-based foundations and primers also have water, like most foundations and primers have water. To be honest, what I do is I Google it. I Google, is this foundation water-based or silicone-based? So I completely forgot to film it like an ending or outro. I didn't want to end it like this, but if you gotten this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you learned some things. There is an ebook and it's going to be linked in the description, and it's really just going to be everything that I discussed in the video, but like in a little bit more detail, and that you can read it yourself. If that's the way that you like to learn, you can have a digital copy of it, and that's going to be in the description below. But thank you so much for watching, and let me know what videos you guys want to see next. This is harder than TikTok. Okay. This is hard. Don't be fooling, you're embarrassing me. Yeah. I'm all over the place. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. It's just, yes, I know these things, but it's a lot different to talk about it, like to teach someone else. So I have a bunch of notes here, and I'm maybe looking at them from time to time. So just ignore that. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Oh, that's it.